All right, I'm back, and we are within just a few stitches of finishing this first section. I've just got a little tiny bit of the bumblebee left to go, and then we'll be following the prompts on the machine to rehoop this and position the second part of this three-part design. These large designs are really beautiful. Looks like it's coming up soon. There's that noise. Okay, so let's follow the prompts on the machine itself. It's telling me that the first part of this pattern is finished. Is it okay to connect the next pattern? But always read all the way through the prompts, because you don't want to take off snowman stickers. You don't want to rehoop until the machine actually tells you to do that. So I'm going to say okay, and it's going to ask me to position a couple of different snowman stickers. So notice now, instead of embroidery, down here in the lower right corner, I have that same symbol, that connection symbol. So when I touch that, it's going to say, okay, let's see, how do we want this to work out? So I'm actually going to move that second design so that it's right on top of the first one. I want it to connect right on as it goes. And then, let's see. So you can actually see how it's going to connect before you actually do it. All right, so probably 0.04.
Right.
Looks like it might be the ticket. I can see that connection there, but we're going to be able to see it even before we stitch it. So, all right, let's see what the next step is. All right, so for this, you need to select 2 separate snowman stickers, and you're not going to remove them until the machine tells you it's okay to remove them. And you'll see that it's even giving you a positioning, the position that it looks like, and it says affix the first embroidery positioning mark on the material securely so that the mark is inside of the red frame, which is the projector is projecting onto my hoop. I'll show you in a moment. And the carriage of the embroidery unit will move after pressing the scan key. So let's see what we have over here. So we have our little sticker here, and I'm going to position my sticker right on there and then select scan. So it's going to go look for that one, and you can see it's finding it over here. Little micro adjustments going on. So the machine going up and down and is moving just microscopically till it finds its position. And then it moves down to the bottom. It's going to have us place another sticker, and be mindful of the position that it's asking you. Normally this would be the upside down way that you would normally position with your snowman stickers. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to select scan. And the machine will do a series of little micro adjustments while it's looking for that snowman sticker, the exact position.
Better for me to sell you, 5 machines over the next 10 years. I'm just showing you this because this is going to be, if this is really something you're going to get into, this is going to be where you're going to go.
All right. I think it's finding its way over there, and you'll see it's just really doing little micro adjustments. All right, so here's what we have. Do not remove the embroidery positioning markers with a big exclamation point. Do not remove them. You're going to rehoop the material so that the next pattern and the centers of the 2 marks are in the embroidery area. And look at the picture that it's giving you. You can actually get that side pretty close to the edge of the hoop, and you'll see that it's actually telling you the distance between the snowman markers is 7.53. Don't touch scan. We have to rehoop first. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera for a moment and switch over to the table. All right. So I'm going to remove my magnets using the tool. Do not remove this one and this one because I'm going to slide using those as an anchor so that my fabric will actually stay straight. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the rest of them. I'm going to leave these two. Those are going to be the ones that are going to hang on to my fabric while I slide it over. All right. So I'm going to just turn it this way, and I'm going to unclip this a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to grab my fabric and I'm going to pull it. And you'll see that the tension stays for the parts of the fabric that's still connected with those magnets. And pull it all the way down towards the end here. I think I can pull a little bit more than that. Okay. All right, so the first one that's going to come on is the one that's going to slide over this way. I think I need to move my magnets or my stickers a little bit closer to the edge of the hoop. Let's try that. Yep, I think that's going to be the ticket. Now remember, I got to leave some space in this upper left corner so that I can put my hoop through and not cram into my needles. All right. So these are going to get moved now to this edge so that when I have to rehoop for the third one, they're back up there on the top. All right, so I'm all rehooped. Here's my clamp that goes on my machine. I have room over here to slide my needle through. Let's see what happens next. All right, so I followed the prompts. I have rehooped. My snowman stickers are over towards the edge of the embroidery area. So let's scan and see what happens. So, oops, got to put the lock down on the hoop. I always forget that when the lock is covered with fabric. If I don't have enough room, the machine's going to prompt me to rehoop again. So it's not going to let you sew if you don't have enough room. So it's going to go look for those snowman stickers. There's one. The embroidery positioning marks were recognized. Remove the embroidery positioning marks and embroider the pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and take my two stickers off because the machine told me it's okay to take them off. And then I'm going to select OK. All right. So we also have a projector. So we can always turn the projector on. And then we can drag it over to where it's supposed to connect at to make sure that that's going to connect. So I'm going to take this over here. And if you look at that, my connection is pretty spot on. I could probably move it a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and thread up with my brass colored thread, and let's see where we're at. All right, let's go. Oh, look at it. It's going right over to that connection point. Let's see how we did. Oh, look at that perfect spot on connection there. Let's get this guy out of here. And you will notice that that matched exactly. All right, so score 1 for the first connection. I'll be back when this is done stitching to line up the third piece. All right, just popping in for the match point on the flower here on the side, again from the first place that we stitched, the first section, and here's the match point on that. Looks like a perfect flower to me. Alright, so I know that my second pattern in this 3-pattern collection that's going to make a larger design for me, I know the second pattern is lined up perfectly. Look at that match right there on the gold honeycomb, and look at my flower. All perfect matches. Alright, we're finishing up on the bee body of our pattern number 2. And look at those pretty flowers and the connection here, and everything looks so pretty. Just a really nice match. All right, so we're gonna do this again. We have one more pattern, and the machine knows it because we've selected a pattern that has connection. So it's always gonna ask if we wanna do the next part until we're done. So I'm gonna say, okay. And let's see what's up next. All right, so we did the positioning with this exactly the same as I did the first one. So it prompted for the placement of the snowman markers. And then just to double check, I went ahead and turned on my projector so I could see that this actually matched up perfectly. So I did the same thing with moving the magnets. I left these magnets at the top. So when I pulled back, they ended up back in the back at this point because this is the last design. I'm not going to worry about resetting them. And so I am going to go ahead and start stitching. So by the way, if you decide to match this on your own, each of these designs have a red positioning line that goes with them. If you want to match them on your own without using the snowman sticker. So you would sew it out, and once you sew it out, the first design will actually finish off with a red line or undefined. You can use whatever color you want. It's a basting line, and it's going to sew that out so that when you go to rehoop and sew the second design, again on your own, not using the camera function, that you can locate the positioning of that. This is another thing that was pretty cool, actually. When you once you start sewing the second one or any of them, if you have to thread the needle and it's too close to the side here, you're going to get a message that it's going to actually move, and it moves out of the way, threads, and then moves back to its original position. So there we go. There's that wonderful perfect match we saw again. I'm going to stop and trim that so it doesn't end up in our final embroidery. And that's pretty much all it is to it. As long as you have selected the first choice, which shows all 3 in one box, then you will get the prompt with each of the 3 pieces to position the subsequent piece. And it looks like it's a very perfect match. If you want to do them by yourself using just your own intuition and the camera, the live camera positioning with the projector, you can do that as well. In that case, you would select pattern 1, 2, and 3 as they're laid out once you make your choice. Once you've selected the final design in the series, when it comes to adding something, which I am, there's another design in here that actually coordinates with this, which I am going to add. It's in a different category, and so I can still continue to do that. I can still continue to add, but I won't have the prompt because this is complete, so I won't have the little ladder prompting me to place a snowman marker. The wonderful thing about Pattern Connect, as you've maybe noticed as we were doing this specific stitch out, is that it doesn't require that you use designs that touch each other, that are matching. In other words, I don't have to repeat the same design over and over again. So with this, it's just 3 subsequent designs of a bumblebee kind of theme here. But it could be anything. It could be letters, it could be banners, for a banner, and they don't have to be the same design repeatedly. So really a fun, I think, feature. Lets you do 5 very unique embroidery designs that are very large, varying in size and also orientation. Some of them will be side to side, as our little bumblebee friend here is, or some of them will be, top to bottom. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, this little mini Technique Tuesday style tutorial on how to use the new large designs in your Solaris or Luminaire Upgrade 3 package. Okay, we have embroidered all 3 panels. So you can see here's one on the machine, there's 2, there's 3. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off of the machine and lay it out flat. And I'm going to take some of the stabilizer off the back and get it pressed. And we have a really pretty panel here. All right. I'm going to just take all my magnets off now. Set them aside. All right, there's our design. Look at how pretty that is. And the connection areas are just beautiful. So there's our long design, just one of 5 choices, I believe, on the machine. And I hope you enjoyed this little Technique Tuesday video.